Scott Adams' Grand Adventure Number 7, Mystery Funhouse, takes us back to a secret agent theme. Like the other S.A.G.A games, Mystery Funhouse was published by Adventure International on cassette in 1979 for $14.95. Unlike the others, such as Adventureland, which took over a year to create, my research finds that Mystery Funhouse took about a week to write, and honestly, it shows a lack of polish in how complicated it is. Definitely not a starter IFTA, this one. So much so that an issue of EGM in 1981 warns against it for newbies, but in turn claims experienced players will have a good time. The object of this game is to enter and navigate a carnival, looking for and hopefully finding a set of secret plans. In it, the astute player will notice there is a mechanic that allows the player to work around the traditional limited inventory space. I am not sure if that was intentional or if it was a glitch. Also, although I did not test them, research tells me that use of certain violent words will bring about a bouncer who will forcibly remove the player from the carnival. As usual, I have transferred the game from a cassette to a floppy using offset and new DOS 80, which I should probably mention, even though it makes things easier in most ways, running the S.A.G.A games this way does not allow for me to save as the code wants to save to a cassette. Since I do not want to break up a working tradition, TRS-DOS is our portal to another world, and Directory 1 is the way to our key. Funhouse. You want to restore a previously saved game? No. Adventure. Version 8.2, Adventure Number 7, Version 1.45, Copyright Adams, 1979, Box 3435, Longwood, Florida, Phone 1-305-862-6917. This program will allow you to have an adventure without ever leaving your armchair. You will find yourself in a strange new world. You will be able to look at, pick up, and otherwise manipulate the objects you find there. You will also be able to travel from location to location. I will be your puppet in this adventure. You command me with 2-word English sentences. I've over 120-word vocabulary, so if a word doesn't work, try another. Some commands I know. Help, save game, score, inventory, quit. The author has worked over a year on this program and is currently writing many new adventures, so please don't copy or accept a pirated copy of Adventure. Press Enter. Before pressing Enter, I'm going to call your attention to the misspelling of writing, which tells us that they have been using the same splash page for many games. This also explains why it says that the authors worked over a year on this program when all research shows that it was about a week. Welcome to Adventure 7, Mystery Funhouse by Scott Adams, dedicated to Marvin Computer Center. I'm carrying the following: shoes, watch, hard dry chewing gum. I'm in front of the funhouse. Visible items, sign, ticket counter. Some obvious exits are east. Tell me what to do. My regular viewers know that I always map everything out in advance, and so I will be following a path that I have written down. Looking at the window here, you can see that we have an upper portion and a lower portion. The upper portion is the world description, and the lower portion is our interactions with that world. Let's begin. The first thing we want to do is we want to wear the shoes. Then let's examine the watch. 598 turns till midnight. That is a lot of turns. So much so that we do not even need the watch. So let's just drop the watch now. From here we are going to go east, which is the obvious exit direction. We are in a parking lot. Visible items: rusty closed grating, dead tree, $5 bill. Obvious exits are west. Let's start by looking at the tree. Only thing left is one bare branch. So let's get the branch, but I'm going to call it a stick this time to show you we can use multiple words for things. And then we want to look at the grate. Okay, I see a shiny coin at the bottom of the drain. 2 big bolts hold it down. So let's use the gum. Okay, it tastes horrible. Stick the gum on what? My shoe heel is loose. Let's just ignore the shoe heel. We will put it on the stick. Okay, and then we need to use the stick. Okay, got it. Let's check our inventory. I'm carrying shoes, which I'm wearing, a silver dollar, soft chewing gum, stick with gum on end. What we got was the silver dollar from down in the grate. Let's look at the grate again. As you see, there's just 2 big bolts holding it down now. So let's drop the stick, because I do not need it. And let's drop the gum. I can always return to get these when I need them. And then we are going to head west, which is the obvious exit way. We are in front of the funhouse. There's the sign, the ticket counter, and the watch. Let's buy the ticket. Okay, ticket. She says that'll be $1. Let's give the coin. Okay, she hands me a ticket. Let's go to the funhouse now. I do not know what a funhouse is. Go. Funhouse. Use no more than 2 words. Here we have an example of when I write things down. I write full words down to remind me of things, when in reality I should be using go house. I am in a magical mirror room. Visible items, strange mirror. Obvious exits are north and south. We are going to go a number of steps now before doing anything. North, which puts us in a windy maze. North again. We are still in the windy maze. North. And then we want to go west. West puts us in a small room, and west again. We are in a room with a low ceiling. Visible items, skeleton, strange knobs on wall, yellow, green, blue. An obvious exit is west. Also, the wall closed behind me. That is not the only path through the maze. That is just the one I chose for this particular playthrough. If I remember to, when I do the Coco version, I will probably use the other path. Here we want to pull the green knob. Click. Wall swings me around and I am elsewhere. There's a small trampoline here. Let's get the trampoline. We can go south or up. We are going to go south. In a shooting gallery, visible items, strange spectacles, window, gun pointing into and mounted by window. Obvious exits are north. Let's get the spectacles. And then go north. Back into the small room with the small trampoline. That's by getting the trampoline by spelling it properly. And then we are going to go up. I am in a room with a low ceiling. Visible items, skeleton, strange knobs on wall, yellow, green, blue. Obvious exits are west. We are going to go west. I am beside a large tank. Visible items, window in tank. Obvious exits are east and up. So we are going to head up. I am in a sloping hallway. Obvious exits are up and down. We are going to go up again. I'm on a small landing. Visible items, slippery slide, sign on slide. Obvious exits, north, east, and up. We are going to go up a 3rd time. I'm in a rickety staircase. Obvious exits are up and down. Up 1 more time. I'm on a ledge over a deep pit. Visible items, ladder going down, sign on ladder. Obvious exits are south and east. Let's read the sign. Authorized personnel only. Let's drop the trampoline. And then we are going to go east. I'm in a large rolling barrel room. Visible items, comb, exit, and match. We want to get the comb, and then we want to get the match. And then we are going to crawl out of here. Back to the ledge over a deep pit. Ladder going down, sign on ladder, and a small trampoline. Here we want to drop the match, and then go south. This is back on the rickety staircase. We are going to go down, and where it says slippery slide, let's read the sign. Authorized personnel only. Gentle air blast blows up my leg. We are going to go on the slide. Splash. Oh no, I'm all washed up. I'm in a windowed tank. Visible items, closed drain, water, mermaid, rusty key, bottom of slide. Let's get the key. And then we want to give the comb to the mermaid. She thanks me and turns a hidden knob. Go to the stairs. I'm on a small landing. Visible items, slippery slide, sign on slide. We want to go east into a windy hall, east again, which takes us into a windy maze, east again, where we are in a magical mirror room. Visible items, strange mirror. Obvious exits north and south. Let's put on the specs. Wear the spectacles, and then look at the mirror. I can see myself thin and fat and tall. I see a hidden door in it. Let's open the door, and then go to the door. And here we do not need these spectacles. We are in an observation chamber. Visible items, valve handle with no valve, strange spectacles, one-way mirror, locked door. We are going to get the handle, and then we are going to go east, back into the magical mirror room, north, into the maze, and we're just going to push our way through the maze by going north, north, west, 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 where we are beside the tank again, and then we want to go up, 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 and up where we left the trampoline. So let's get the trampoline, and then go to the ladder, and drop the trampoline, where we now are going to put the handle on the valve, and then we turn the handle, and then we go to the trampoline. I am on a trampoline, and we jump. I'm on a ledge over a deep pit. Visible items, ladder going down, sign on ladder, match. Let's get the match. You will notice I am continually ignoring the shoe heel being loose. That is because when it comes time to need what's in the shoe heel, we will do it then. And now we go on another long walk. We go south to the rickety staircase, down to the small landing, east into the windy hall, east into the maze, east again into the magical mirror room, and then we want to go, you probably remember this by now, north, 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 west, west, west. It puts us in a room with a low ceiling, visible items, skeleton, strange knobs on wall. You remember this room, right? We're going to pull the blue knob this time. I'm in a small room, visible items, fortune-telling machine, sign. Let's read the sign. It says it's out of order. We want to go east into a large room with a tall ceiling, visible items, quiet calliope, merry-go-round, blue button. Obvious exits are south. We want to push the blue button. Click, ride stops. And then we go to the merry-go-round. I'm on a merry-go-round, visible items, wooden horse. Sounds like a very, very lonely merry-go-round. Just one horse. We are going to go to the horse, though, so that it will not feel so lonely. I'm in a merry-go-round on a wooden horse. Visible items, pole coming out of the horse's back. Some obvious exits are down. We are going to climb the pole. I'm on top of the ride. Obvious exits are down. Tiny piece of hemp falls on my head and vanishes. My shoe heel is loose. Tiny piece of hemp falls on my head and vanishes. Let's look up, because obviously it's falling from above. Rope hanging from ceiling. That is a hemp rope, so let's jump. I'm in a catwalk. Visible items, locked door, rope hanging down. Obvious exits are east and down. It says here, good thing this rope's not too long. We are going to head east, not eastbound and down, just east. I'm in a storage room. Visible items, locked door, red knob in wall, wrench. Obvious exits are west. Let's unlock the door. Then drop the key. And look at the shelves that are now visible. There's a flashlight there. Let's get the flashlight. And while we are at it, let's get the wrench. And then we want to go west, back the way we came, and then down. And this puts us on top of the ride, so we go down again. And this puts us in the merry-go-round on a wooden horse. We go down again, and this puts us on the merry-go-round. And then down one more time, into the large room with the tall ceiling, the quiet calliope. The obvious exit is south, so we are going to go south. Into a small room. This is where the fortune-telling machine is. The sign that said that it is broken, out of order. And then we will go down one more time. Into a large room with a low ceiling. This is where the skeleton, the strange knobs on the wall, etc. are. Let's drop the match here. And then we want to pull the blue again. Back to the fortune-telling machine and get... We could not do this on the way through because we were carrying too much. Then we are going to head back down, and then we will pull the green. And we are in a small room. The obvious exits are south and up, and here we need to go south into the shooting gallery. This is where the gun is pointing into and mounted by a window. And here we are going to drop the sign that we took. Next we are going to go north again because it's the only direction we can go. And then we are going to go up from the small room, and we want to get the match again. By the way, this is the room with the skeleton in it, which is the main or central point of the game that I have been able to find. And then we pull the yellow knob. The wall swings me around and I'm elsewhere. And then we do a little jig here. We go north, and then we go east, and then we go south, and then we go east, and then we go south, and then we go east, and then we go south again, and then we go east one more time. This is back in the parking lot where the rusty clothes grating, the dead tree, the hard dry chewing gum, the stick with gum on the end, and the $5 bill was. And we want to get the gum. I'm carrying too much. Try take inventory. We are going to drop the ticket and then get the gum. From here we want to open the grate. How? With the wrench. I can only remove one bolt. And then we want to drop the wrench and slide the grate. As you can see, it now says there is a dark manhole there. We want to light our flashlight and then go into the manhole. I am in a manhole. Obvious exits are east and up. We are going to go east into a sewer system, visible items, open flood door, dark hole, large grate welded over hole. We need to close the door. Now it is a closed flood door, and remove our heel. Okay, something fell out. There is now a short fuse on the floor. We want to drop the heel, get the fuse, and then chew the gum. Okay, it tastes horrible. We want to stick the gum on the fuse. And then we want to stick the gum on what? On the grate. Now we need to light the fuse. Sizzle, it burns with a dull glow. Pop. And then there is a broken grate and a dark hole. We want to go to the hole. I am in a long tunnel. We can go up and down. We want to go up, which puts us in a large room, visible items, clay pigeons, where we want to go south because we came up. In a hidden laboratory, there is a locked door, missing top secret plans, and an obvious exit is north. So let's get the plans. Okay, hurrah, you've done it. The adventure is over. Do you want to try this adventure again? I am going to say no. And it takes us back to Tristos 2.3. Now, in my opinion, this adventure, Mystery Funhouse, was needlessly complicated in the amount of shuffling one has to do to go back and forth across the map. It reminded me a lot of the third S.A.G.A game, Mission Impossible, with the constant back and forth required to gather everything needed. Also, I feel a number of the shortcuts were taken in thinking up puzzles. One thing about these games I enjoy is the use of logic to advance. And this one does it, but it also feels like they borrowed mechanics from earlier games. I'm looking at you, Spectacles. You're nothing but reskinned goggles from the last game, Strange Odyssey. And you, low-ceiling skeleton room with all the knobs, you are nothing more than a rip-off of the transport portal room from Odyssey as well. Honestly, it's not all that hard to come up with new puzzles. Instead of just a week, take 8 days and think up something new. If your idea well is dry, ask your friends, ask your kids. You're already stealing, so why not steal from them instead of your last adventure? Usually I love Scott's originality, but this one really leaves me feeling lacking. Overall, I'll have to agree with AGM. This game is not a good starter for a newbie. Go ahead and try some of the earlier games for that. Adventureland is a really good starting place, or go with Pirate Adventure. Leave this one for later, or else it may leave you feeling off sorts, and that could hurt your enjoyment long term. As for questions, comments, or other considerations, please feel free to leave them below. I will get back to you as soon as I see them, which so far is inside of 48 hours, less if I am at home. If you have a game request, please tell me. I love requests. Currently I'm working through Scott Adams games, but I'm also working on Zork, and I've mapped out 2 other games on the Apple IIe for your future enjoyment, all 3 being requests. So have at them. Like and or subscribe, yada yada yada. You know you want to. And until next time, I look forward to our next adventure together.